EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Oh, a good return up past the 30. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Richardson will throw to start out here. Connecting over the middle with Downs. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Quick throw out wide, and Pierce has got it. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Now Richardson. Got his man, it's Warren. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a second down and 4. Play action. Now Richardson. That's going to be taken in by Downs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
He'll drop this down to Taylor. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Now it's Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be fourth down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And his kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to, when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Geno. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Geno now to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now Smith. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Richardson to throw off play action. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pickup there, a 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. There, Richardson back to throw it. Now this taken in by Downs. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Running left, Taylor. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now,
touchdown! Jonathan Taylor from 8 yards out, and they are able to add on to their advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Throwing now is Geno. Over the middle, he's got Myers. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9. Smith. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Play action. It's Smith. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw, Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, here's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
From the shotgun, Richardson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Richardson looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd down and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the boots right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
No surprise to see a sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Bowers. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 15-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. Here's a quick throw caught out wide. So the completion gets him just a yard. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Smith now to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done, This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They give to Taylor out of the gun, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. They run once more with Taylor. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This now a 3rd and 4. Richardson looking to throw this. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Josh Downs, 56 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4. Smith. That's to the left side where he's got Bowers. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Throwing is Smith. That's to Bowers once again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Brock Bowers, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders have got it back to within a score. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will be taken down deep in Las Vegas territory. A big play there for Indy. 58 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
Richardson working from the gun. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it. And it'll be second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now a 2nd and 10. Richardson out of the shotgun. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. this amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
And especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders now set to get the football back as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Second down and a yard. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Now Smith. Flush to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Richardson to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here. Now a 2nd and 2. There, Richardson back to throw it. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Richardson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. One more go for this offense in the first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and a couple. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now Geno. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again.
He delivered the tough yards. To throw is Smith. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback He's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing now is Geno. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Bowers. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. Now it's Richardson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down.
On the option to give to Taylor here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Richardson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Raiders heading out to take over.
And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now Smith. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action with Richardson. They're going right back to Pittman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Shoots in, looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out come the Raiders. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Geno now to throw. Open man is Myers. 7 yards there and a first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Raiders on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now it's Smith. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Tyree Wilson getting back there in a hurry and handing him a loss.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally, he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Richardson looking to throw this. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Got his man, it's Warren. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. But he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
Oh, man, late in a tight ball game, every play so critical, you feel like you've got to find a way to come up with that football. That was put in a great spot, but it just didn't want to stick in his hands. That's a big letdown.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Colts set to take over here offensively. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. From the shotgun, Richardson. His throw incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd and 10, Richardson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Warren, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. .45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 101 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Over the middle, he's got Myers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Smith to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Myers.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Here's 1st down. Here's Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. A little over 30 seconds to go. Here's 2nd down. Smith's going to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now it's Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 2nd down, goal to go. Smith now to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. The Colts going to use the 1st of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Carlson on for the PAT. And they have got the lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. One last shot for Richardson. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Indy.